Hey everyone, Shabby here, and welcome back to our next episode of SWE Showdown. So I've lost my voice. I've got it back now. And tonight we've got big matches for you tonight. We've got a main event this evening. We'll be crowning our #1 contender for the Mayhem Championship. Mayhem Women's Championship, should I say. And we are going to start things off here this evening with Becky Lynch taking on our current Throwdown champion, Alexa Bliss, one-on-one. And here we go. Should be an interesting match this one. I'm just trying to figure out what happened last week, but I can't actually remember off the top of my head. Okay, no, nothing happened between this. I know we did have a promo from Alexa Bliss, didn't we, last week, where she was talking about how she is the best female around, and it's up to the other women here to prove her otherwise. And Becky Lynch is the first one who has taken up the opportunity to do so. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, of course, with the next pay-per-view so close. Only a couple of weeks away now. Only one more episode of Showdown left until we hit that pay-per-view. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. If Becky Lynch can force her way maybe in to the championship picture. Of course, a victory here over Alexa Bliss would definitely force her way into that championship picture. I'm a massive fan of Alexa Bliss. You know what? I start to think, I think I know a lot more about wrestling than what I give myself credit for, because it seems to happen quite a lot. I tend to start to like these people that nobody else seems to like, and then all of a sudden, I would just always think I'm a bit weird for it, but then all of a sudden, they end up at the top. And I was a massive fan of Alexa Bliss in NXT, and when she came onto the main roster, I was so happy. And then she was given the title run, and I'm thinking, oh my god, everyone else has started to see this. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys saw the ability and talent and the potential she had in NXT, and she's really developed tenfold since hitting the main roster. I think the draft has been probably the best thing that could have happened to her, because I don't know how long she would have been left in NXT if the draft had not come around. And it really has improved her, and it's improved, of course, the women's division, because I really think SmackDown Live, although it was a very strong women's division of SmackDown Live, I think without Alexa Bliss, without that key jigsaw puzzle piece that was the main heel, I'm not quite sure their women's division would have been as good as it has been over the last year or so. And now Raw, that's the thing with, there was a lot of people saying that during the draft and SmackDown were going to lose Becky Lynch, and they were going to lose some of the bigger names, and it was really Alexa Bliss that's made the massive difference, in my opinion, on Raw. As both ladies square up in the middle of the ring here. Alexa Bliss offered a handshake. She said last week everyone has to come through. Oh, if you want to prove that you're the best, you need to go through her. And she's just getting in the head here of Becky Lynch, ignoring the handshake. Is this a wise idea by Alexa? Is she just going to annoy Becky Lynch though? Well, Becky straight away catching Alexa, takes her up onto her back and dropping her face first. I think Alexa, she's got in the head of Becky Lynch just as she intended to do, but it might have backfired a little bit as she's taken a brunt of attacks right now. Becky now stamping on the back of the arm of Alexa, bringing her back up to a kneeling base. Alexa Bliss now with the arm breaker, and then rolls into that submission hold. Of course, remember Becky Lynch, likes to utilize that disarm her armbar submission as a finishing maneuver. So weakening the arm early on in the match like that is a very wise plan for her. Great technical knowledge, weakening a body part, ready for you to hit your big special movement towards the end. But Alexa Bliss now back in control. I did do an episode of Shabby Talk a couple of weeks ago on Alexa Bliss and how I think that she really is the top female. A lot of people always go on about Sasha Banks and Charlotte and Bayley and people like that, but for me, Alexa Bliss has just completely just outshone a lot of them now over the last year. And I'm hoping she can continue to do so on our game as well. Becky Lynch now dropping the leg drops. And continuing the leg drops by the looks of it. Yep. This time getting more of a run up on the other side. Becky Lynch now hoisting her way up onto that middle rope. And there's the big splash on that middle rope. Becky brings Alexa back up to her feet. Oh, and locking it in for the Bexplex. And Becky Lynch is really doing a fantastic job here against Alexa Bliss. I wasn't too happy with a lot of my my female draft when me and PJ Toby had our original draft. I felt like he got a lot more of these stronger competitors, but I did get Alexa Bliss, and that for me, I was so happy with that. I got Alexa Bliss and I got Taya Valkyrie, two people that I really wanted. Of course, Taya has been tied up with the Women's Tag Team Championships. We'll have to do a number one contendership for that at some point as well. But of course, they've held them belts now since night number 1 of the Universe mode. The only belt that is still in its original holder, which is quite impressive by Sexy Star and Taya. Becky now sending Alexa Bliss to the outside. What's Becky Lynch got planned here? She's eyeing up the grounded Alexa Bliss. She needs to make an impact here, prove that she's the one who should be getting this championship opportunity, and diving out the ropes. Oh, wow. Tope Suicida. It did a lot of damage to Alexa Bliss, but how much damage is done to Becky Lynch's body as well? Becky is back up on her feet, but you can see she's wincing. She's hurting from that maneuver, and Alexa's back up as well. Alexa, quick little cheap maneuver there, then slides back into the ring. But Becky Lynch follows a German suplex, folding Alexa Bliss in half. Now Becky again working on the arm, just stamping on the arm, and again stamping on the arm. I think when Becky does lock in that disarm her, it's going to be a very painful maneuver for Alexa Bliss. Hurricanrana by Alexa Bliss, taking Becky down, now stamping on the arm. So now Alexa trying to copy the tactic, I suppose. Oh, we've seen this move before as well. The back handspring knees to the gut. There's the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Alexa can't believe it. She thought it should have been 3. Now Alexa getting underneath the skin of the crowd a little bit, G'ing them up a bit. Crucifix bomb. Alexa now bringing Becky back up to her feet, but Becky playing possum, catching Alexa with the knee in the face. And I don't know how I feel about Becky so far as well. I feel like she could have dominated SmackDown, but I suppose she's done alright, I suppose, hasn't she? Wow. Well, she just beat Alexa Bliss. Yeah, she's done pretty well on SmackDown, I suppose. I think Alexa just outshone everyone, and even Carmella has shone quite a lot for me, because I just didn't expect her to become such a good heel in such a short period of time. So Carmella done a big... Oh, Alexa Bliss looking to get some retribution after losing that match, and Becky Lynch sends her over the top and to the outside, and Becky gets the last laugh here, and I think we've just guaranteed ourselves a match at our next pay-per-view. It looks like Alexa Bliss is going to be defending her Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. And here is our next match of the evening. It's going to be Cheerleader Melissa, the former Women's Junior Heavyweight Champion, taking on someone we've not seen so far in this Universe mode, in Summer Rae. And here we go then, the chance to see what Summer Rae is like in the ring. Like I said, we've not really seen much of her so far, so it'll be interesting to see what effect she does have. As here comes Cheerleader Melissa. Like I say, former Junior Heavyweight Women's Champion, but did lose the belt to Nikki Cross. And now, yeah, I'm interested. I don't know what... I was saying this before on Mayhem yesterday, or the day before yesterday. There's been a lot of people that haven't really been given much of an opportunity, and I think Summer Rae, for someone, we're coming up to 3 months. I say 3 months. It's been longer than 3 months. It's been 5 months. This Universe mode's been going on, but 3 of those months in game, and we haven't seen Summer Rae once yet. So that sort of shows, doesn't it? In 5 months, we've not seen Summer Rae at all. I think it sort of shows that we need to be giving them a little bit more of an opportunity, I suppose. Here comes Summer Rae. A bit of a boo there. No, I don't know. Where is Summer Rae? I don't think she's been released, has she? See, I thought she'd been released, and then I didn't think she had been released, but now I don't know if she has been released. I'm gonna check. Summer Rae. because she was an effective heel in WWE as well. Danielle Moinet. Yeah, she's currently signed to WWE, it says on Wikipedia. She's 33, which is probably why they haven't used it. They don't like people that are over a certain age, do they? She's currently performing under the Raw brand under the name Summer Rae, but is currently on hiatus due to injury. Okay. She's been injured for quite some time, though, hasn't she? Yeah, it didn't say anything about her injury. But she must have been injured for quite some time then, because I don't recall seeing her since the draft. Okay, she confirmed she was injured on the 13th of November 2016 on Twitter. Oh, she's wearing a neck brace. Okay. She's been in. Yeah, Summer Rae has been injured for months, despite staying quiet about the situation. And now the wrestler finally opened up about why she kept it under wraps. Summer had been dealing with neck, back, and elbow issues that were keeping her from the ring. She's now admits she expected to heal sooner. I assumed it would be an easy fix and it wouldn't take long to get back to normal. That is what. It wouldn't take as long to. Okay. So she's been out injured for quite a few months. The past 2.5 months I've been dealing with an injury. And that was November last year, and I've still not seen anything of her recently. I've not seen anything of her recently at all. Apparently in December she had a huge breakthrough in her comeback. There's nothing since last year, really. Like I said, it's a bit of a shame because I thought she had potential to be a really good heel. And there she gets in situations like that, really. Lifting your opponent's head when you're pinning her so you can put a bit more damage on. I don't think she's ever going to be a world-famous wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I think she has a good place. And I think WWE do need a couple more big heels in the women's division. Well, on Raw seems to be quite good for heels now. You've got Alexa Bliss, of course, as I've already mentioned, in my opinion, the best. Nia Jax is a pretty good heel, and those two are really good friends in real life, aren't they? You've got Mickie James is a heel as well, I suppose. And then over on SmackDown, I'm not quite sure what is on SmackDown at the moment. I believe, from what I can tell, Charlotte's done a face turn. And heel-wise, you've got Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. And face-wise, you've got Naomi, Becky, and it looks like Charlotte. And then they've got Lana as well. So SmackDown Live's only got 7 women on the roster now. That's shocking, really, isn't it? 7 women. I'm sure Raw's got a lot more than that. But the thing is, I don't know why they don't bring a few more from NXT, because SmackDown could quite easily take Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, I think. Submission there by Summer Rae. Brutal submission. I'd be surprised if Cheerleader Melissa does not tap out to this. She doesn't, though. Yeah, it'd be easy for SmackDown to take Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. I think they should do that. And that's Summer's finishing move, isn't it? There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Summer Rae picks up a victory. We haven't seen anything of her so far in this universe mode, but she's picked up a quick, dominant victory there over Cheerleader Melissa and proven that we probably should see more of her so far. That's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty impressed. Maybe we might have to think about her a little bit more after the draft. I'm not quite sure whose roster she's on, to be honest with you. I'm sure we can try and find out. But I think we're all tied up now, ready to go for our next pay-per-view, or we will be after our main event here this evening, which is coming up next. Well, it looks like before that main event, we got Dana Brooke making her way out here over Mike. See what's on Dana Brooke's mind, of course. She's been a little bit back and forth over the past few weeks with Nikki Cross, of course, the current Women's Junior Heavyweight Champion. So let's see what Dana Brooke's got in her mind. Of course, fresh off that massive victory a couple of weeks ago against Trish Stratus as well. You all know my name. You all know my game. You all know I'm out here to call out. So let's get to it, huh? Shall I get this piece of trash now, rather than wasting time? I completely misread most of that. I apologise greatly. I've been biding my time watching this superstar. She's been all over the place lately. I've reached my limit with her. I can't stand her anymore. I was hoping she would get better, but she hasn't. In fact, she's only getting worse. And Dana really ripping into Nikki Storm here, who has been, well, she's a bit crazy, isn't she? Let's face it. She's been around everywhere. Nikki Cross is uglier, less talented, poorer, and everything else that's less than me. She wishes she was me, but she'll never be me. Nikki Cross, the only thing I'll give you is your courage. So here's your chance to hang on to the only thing you have and come out here tonight. I'm sorry, I can't even read tonight. Oh, here comes Nikki Cross. She's answered the challenge here. The current women's junior heavyweight champion is making her way down to the ring. Looking less like Nikki Cross every time I see her. Women's cores are so difficult on this game. I don't know if it's just because people don't spend as much time on them as the male ones, but some of them are pretty poor. Some of them are pretty poor. I don't know. I'll have a look around, see if I can find anything better. I'm sure there should be a lot more on there now that Sanity's been obviously debuted. Let's see what Nikki's got. You all think you're fans of wrestling. Where have you all been the past decade? Where was your support then? You all sat back and watched the division fail. You can't call yourself wrestling fans. You're just sheep and shills. Okay, Nikki Cross having a go at the fans here for the lack of support to women's wrestling over the past 10 years. What's the matter? Is what I'm saying too serious for you? Are you mad at me for speaking the truth? You come out here and interrupt me, but it's going to backfire on you. Everything that comes from my mouth is pure 24 karat gold. The sooner you learn, the better you'll be for it. I was in the back relaxing when I suddenly got the urge to kick some ass. I told myself I would fight whoever's currently standing in the ring, which makes you the lucky one, or the unlucky one in this case, since you're going to be receiving end of an ass kicking. Some of these promos are so bad, aren't they? You can't come out here and try and look the part. No, you can come out here and try and look the part, but everyone knows you're just a little girl pretending to be a superstar. It's really sad and embarrassing. Go back to the kiddie table. Because if you stick around, it's not going to end well. I think they're both, like, ripping off the old heel promos. I'm fairly sure the authority wouldn't appreciate you coming down here and trying to run down the best superstar in the company. Clearly, that's not what's best for business. I suppose she's right, running down the champion in the middle of the ring is probably not the best idea. You gonna get some action in this one, or? I'm gonna keep coming at you. Every time you come out and make a statement, every time you lace up your boots, I'm going to be there until I get a match with you. Ah, here we go. This is where the promo starts to actually make sense, I suppose. So Dana Brooke wants that match against Nikki Cross. Of course, I'm assuming it would be for the Women's Junior Heavyweight Championship. That's the most pitiful statement I've heard in my life. You can front or you can duck me. You confront me? Or you confront me or you can duck me. But the bottom line is, I'm going to get you in this ring one way or another. And when I do, I'm going to skin you alive. Okay. The problem with these promos is they're random. I'm sure they are, because they're both just challenged each other to a match and saying the other one's not going to accept it, but they've both just done it. I don't know. I use these promos as much as I can. They're a nice little break, I suppose, aren't they? I hate to break it to you, but you need to seriously invest in a mirror. Why? Because I'm going to beat you so badly your face is going to look like a Picasso painting. Ooh. Burn. So go ahead and keep running away from what you know is the truth. You know that you can't defeat me, and when the day comes that you can't run anymore, you're going to have to face the harsh reality that I am the better woman. And that day is going to be our next pay-per-view. It will be Dana Brooke taking on Nikki Cross for the Women's Junior Heavyweight Championship. That'll be in a couple of weeks' time. But, on to our main event. And here we go into our main event of the evening. And it is going to be a 6-woman over-the-top rope battle royal. And the winner of this match will go on to face off against Asuka for the Mayhem Women's Championship at our next pay-per-view. And here we go. 6 women. All a good chance here. None of these 6 women have really had an opportunity so far in Mayhem. Of course, Jade is the former Throwdown Women's Champion, so she has the chance to become the first ever double champion. Of course, she wouldn't be a double champion, but the first ever person in our universe mode to hold both brand women's championships. Ivory quite fresh into the roster after being brought in during the Shabby shake-up for PJ Tovey. And it'd be interesting to see if Ivory can pull some out of the bag here as well. It'd be interesting. Of course, Asuka's held that belt now for quite some time after winning it at our first pay-per-view, SWE Beginnings. And now Ivory has an opportunity to prove what she can do. Asuka's held that belt now. It will be 8 weeks or 2 months when we get to that pay-per-view. And here comes Amy Dumbass, or Lita. I'm going to stick with Lita. Amy Dumbass is a really bad name. And again, Lita's someone who's not seen a lot of action so far. I think she's been in #1 contendership matches, but she's never really seen a championship match. So it'd be interesting if she can pull this off as well. It's a difficult match. 6 people. You've got to be looking over your shoulder at all points of the time. You can't win the match in the first couple of minutes, but you could certainly lose it in the first couple of minutes. So I think the main aspect of this match is going to be survival for these 6 ladies, and I think that's going to be the best way forward. I think. We'll have to wait and see if anyone takes an early advantage, an early lead. Generally in these matches, somebody does come in, and I think once you get an elimination, the momentum starts to build, and you start to think to yourself, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. And here comes Carmella, someone who's been virtually absent, a bit like Summer Rae earlier on this evening. Not really seen much of her, if anything, so far in this universe mode. So this is a chance for her to prove what she can do as well. Carmella. And like I said early on, I think she's done a fantastic job, Carmella. I never expected her to get over so well as a heel on SmackDown Live. And by taking on board James Ellsworth to give him something to do now, because WWE obviously went, oh, this is amazing, we'll sign James Ellsworth up, we'll bring him in. And then they realised, hang on a minute, that didn't last as long as we thought it was going to. So they've been stuck with him now for a full year. But then again, he's not moaning. He's making a great wage. And when he does leave WWE, eventually, which I'll imagine will happen sooner rather than later, I don't think he's going to get another year out of his contract. Then he's going to end up being booked everywhere because he's a name that people recognise, isn't he? Basically. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Carmella. I think all the women have done pretty well. I think the one who's really fell flat in her face the most is actually Bayley, because I don't know what it is. I think Bayley's gimmick in NXT was all about being desperate to get up onto the main roster, and now she's up on the main roster. She's lost her gimmick. She's a bit. I don't know. It's a shame because we all thought that the Bayley hype would make her the John Cena of the women's division for years and years to come, but it just doesn't seem to have worked. I'm not quite sure if it's a storyline she's involved in, or I'm not quite sure what's happened to her. But like I said, I think it's to do with the fact that she was always about realising her childhood dream of getting onto the main roster and all that sort of stuff, and proving what she could do in NXT, which she did. Then when she made it to the main roster, it's just you've done it now. Your entire gimmick was making it there. You have to develop, you have to evolve. And at the moment, she just doesn't seem to have done that. She's still very happy-go-lucky, all that sort of stuff. And I think she needs one defining storyline or one defining match to really help her move up to that next level that she wants to be at. But I don't know. I think, in my opinion, she's probably the only one. Sasha struggled a little bit because she hasn't put on as good matches as she once put on when she was in NXT. Her matches in NXT were flawless. I don't remember her making any mistakes with this, that, and the other. Some of her matches with Charlotte on the main roster have been a little bit dodgy. Nia Jax has done okay. She's not stood out amazingly, but she's done pretty well for what she's supposed to be doing. She's a monster heel and seems to be working pretty well for her. Even Marie was obviously a disaster. Disappeared, and I don't know if it's a combination of alcohol issues and injuries and stuff like that, and her drugs ban was a bit unfortunate by the sounds of it. I don't think it was anything dodgy. I think it was just a substance she was allowed to take but didn't fill in the paperwork quick enough or something like that, and it's a bit of a weird one, but there you go. And here comes Jade, somebody who I would not be surprised if turns up at the women's tournament this summer. Of course, WWE haven't. I think they have announced it now, haven't they? Has it been announced? It's definitely happening. They're doing a women's tournament this summer. I would imagine you'll definitely see Kairi Hoyo and Io Shirai, of course, from our rosters, because both of those ladies are signed up with WWE now. I should imagine you'll probably see quite a few. Kimberly will be another one who's only had 1 or 2 matches since joining. Jade, I think, is an absolute cert. I think Candice LeRae is probably... she's a much better chance now that she's been on NXT. Definitely, because, of course, she was on NXT during the women's Battle Royal, basically, for the #1 contendership, wasn't she? So I think there's... I'm just trying to think who else is on the indie scene. Based on the 205 Live, I should imagine they're going to want to try and get a lot of different women with a lot of different nationalities. So maybe... I don't know if they'll include NXT ladies as well. Maybe Nikki Cross to represent Scotland. I don't know. Possibly. Possibly. That's what they did with the NXT with 205 Live, didn't they? Because they pushed the fact that the Bollywood boys were from India, even though they're from Canada. They pushed the idea that TJ Perkins was from the Philippines, which I think his parents might have been from the Philippines, but I don't think he ever was. And that's what they did, didn't they? They sort of pushed people. Like, they had Noam Dar was representing Scotland and Israel. I'm like, I know the guy can speak Hebrew, but I don't think he's necessarily Israeli. I think he might have Israeli grandparents, something like that. But they're a bit economical with the truth, I think, WWE during the 205 Live, and I think they'll probably do the same thing during the women's tournament as well. So quite a few near eliminations already, as we see Jade here skinning the cat. But now Naomi looking to get rid of her again. Naomi knows that Jade is a massive threat to all these ladies. Of course, the only person in the ring so far to hold the women's championship in this universe mode. So they know she is a big, big threat to these other ladies. That's Carmella now looking to eliminate the legend that is Ivory, and Carmella's done a pretty decent job as Jade with the gorilla press into an uppercut. I don't really know a lot about Alundra, Blayze, to be honest with you. She was wrestling before I started watching it, really, and never really saw anything of her in the ring. She must be good if she's on the game, I suppose. She must have been quite a marquee name in the women's division. I don't know. I think we've got... I can't imagine what other women's legends they might put on the game, to be honest with you. I'm assuming we'll get Beth Phoenix this year because of her being in the Hall of Fame. But apart from that, I can't imagine who else they might add. It depends. If they bring another showcase mode in, they end up doing another Attitude Era or something on them sort of lines, then maybe we'll see another couple of ladies in there. I suppose Ivory... Well, oh, Lita's gone. Lita's been eliminated there by Alundra Blayze, and Lita is not going to get herself that match against Asuka. So 5 ladies remain. And Alundra Blayze with 1 elimination under her belt as well. Carmella once again looking to eliminate Ivory on that far side. She gets over the top rope and now trying to muscle her down. This will be a massive elimination as well. 2 of the legends out of the match. essentially what we've got in this one. We've got 3 legends versus 3 sort of up-and-comers, I suppose, if you look at it that way. At the moment, it is the up-and-comers that are winning, even though it was the legend who eliminated a legend. Now Carmella and Alundra Blayze working to look to eliminate Ivory. And Ivory's going to struggle here. The numbers are against her. No, she does manage to fight her way out. And now instantly Carmella turning on Alundra Blayze. Now Alundra looking to eliminate Carmella. Now this is the first time Carmella's been thrown over the top rope, but it wouldn't surprise me if Alundra could force her out the way. Alundra's already got 1 elimination in this match, as Naomi looking to eliminate Jade as well. But Jade fighting back, and as does Carmella, both back into ring, and Ivory now, well, bringing Jade back into an arm drag. Unfortunately, going to try and eliminate her again there. Alundra Blayze into that gut wrench suplex. Naomi now fighting away. Oh, joining forces there with Ivory to hit a double Russian leg sweep on Jade, as now Alundra Blayze looking to eliminate Carmella. Once again, Carmella struggling. Angles and gravity's not against her. Well, he is against her, and there goes Carmella, eliminated from the match. We are now down to Alundra Blayze, Jade, Ivory, and Naomi. One of these 4 ladies will go on to face off against Asuka at our next pay-per-view. Alundra Blayze already eliminated 2 ladies so far, looking to eliminate Naomi, but Naomi does fight her way back in. Jade looking to eliminate Ivory in the far side, as well as Naomi now looking to eliminate Alundra Blayze. At the moment, Alundra Blayze is the woman who's really on form, I suppose, at the moment. 2 eliminations. As Ivory now looking to eliminate Jade. And now Blayze again looking to try and eliminate Naomi. Naomi fighting her way out. Ivory has Jade up on her shoulders, drops it into that sit-out Michinoko driver, as Naomi again looking to eliminate Alundra Blayze. Eventually, one of these 2 ladies is going to have to go. They're fighting back and forth and all. Alundra Blayze ducking that forearm, managing to sneak herself back into the ring. Backbreaker there by Naomi. Now Ivory launching Jade across the ring. All 4 of these ladies would all make a very valid target for Asuka, I would imagine. I can't imagine Asuka would have any preferences at this point in time, though. Running dropkick by Alundra Blayze on Naomi. Now Jade looking to force Ivory out of the ring. And there goes Ivory. We are down to our final 3. Ivory not happy at all. Oh, we're down to a final 2. Naomi's gone as well. It's Jade versus Alundra Blayze. Alundra Blayze, arguably the MVP of this match, versus Jade, the former Throwdown Women's Champion. And it looks like it could be a little no. Jade does fight back. Oh, runs straight into a spinning heel kick, though. Jade now dragging Alundra Blayze mid of the ring. Looking for a Slido Soul. It's actually standing sliced bread. Jade could be the first ever woman, or first ever person, to hold a championship on 2 different rosters if she can defeat Alundra Blayze and go on to defeat Asuka. That's 2 massive ifs, though, I must say. Blayze now sending Jade off that rope. Went for that kick again, but Jade catching Blayze, taking her up. Oh, taking it. I'm pretty sure that's the Awful Waffle maneuver used by Chuck Taylor. I might be wrong. Jade now tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on Alundra Blayze as well. Now taunting in the corner. Come on, Jade, don't mess this one up. You've got a chance here to get a match against Asuka at the pay-per-view. Don't mess this up by taunting. You need to pay attention to the very difficult opponent you have in front of you. What's Jade going for here? Dropping an elbow onto the inside the knee of Alundra Blayze, which is going to make it a bit more difficult for her to get sort of force behind that leg potentially. Alundra Blayze roll through powerbomb. Now stamping on the back of Mia Yim. Good old Mia Yim. I don't think she goes by Jade anymore. Since she left TNA, I'm not quite sure if she goes by Jade anymore. I think she goes by Mia Yim again. Which is good, because that's a proper name, I suppose. I think she was only given Jade by TNA, I believe. As Alundra Blayze now looking to eliminate Jade, and then, no, Jade held on. I thought she was definitely gone then. I've never seen anyone survive one of those drop kicks in this game. Jade sending Blayze over the top rope, and now Jade looking to force Alundra Blayze out of the match. Oh, it's such a tight match at the moment. And Blayze fights her way back into the ring. Taking Jade up onto her shoulders. Into an aeroplane spin. We're going old school. And dumping Jade on the ground. Alundra Blayze sending her into the corner. And Jade fights her way back out. I can't believe these two ladies really did a fantastic job here. Alundra Blayze once again looking to eliminate Jade. And Jade's struggling here. She's on her tiptoes. Her back is against the rope. Drop kick, and there goes Jade. Alundra Blayze is going on to face off against Asuka at our next pay-per-view for the Mayhem Women's Championship. What a win for her. I think she eliminated 4 of the 5 people, I think. I might be wrong. I probably am wrong, but she's done a cracking job there, Alundra Blayze. She's really not only won the match, but dominated it as well. And it's going to be interesting now when Alundra Blayze takes on Asuka one-on-one. It's one thing beating 5 of women, but beating Asuka one-on-one is probably a more difficult task, to be honest with you, especially on this game. So Alundra Blayze goes on. So guys, that's the end of this episode of Showdown. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, slap the like and the subscribe. It does really help me out. And of course, we'll see you again in a couple of days' time for our next episode of Throwdown. Bye.